What's going on, YouTube? Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Welcome to Texas Podcast. Thank you for all the day ones, all the new subscribers, all the likes, all the feedback, all the comments, and it's truly appreciated. See what's going on tonight. See, I think Youngblood wanted to do a live. What's up? Put it on the lotion. I do notice that my audio is a lot better. Do y'all agree that audio sounds a lot better, don't it? Ain't no staticky, ain't no crackling, ain't no. At first, I thought it was me. Like I'm like, man, is it? But now, I mean, I can hear myself. I can hear myself clearly. I don't hear no crackling. Hey, buenas noches, Riverside. How you doing, bro? Hopefully you're having a good night, man. And I know it's kind of late, man. But I don't know, man. I don't think too many people watch it from California. Cause like right now, I think California. I think they're 2 hours. Uh, I think we're 2 hours ahead of California. So I think right now it would be like 6:46 in California, if I'm not right. What's going on, young blood? Yeah, man. The audio sounds good too. These past couple of days, and it's been a minute. I could hear the audio. The audio would be like crackling, like. It was like that for a minute, and I'm over here checking all the wires. I'm like, is the microphone unplugged? Or is any kind of short? I mean, what is short? Like something's loose, but I'm not getting any of that feedback or playback or static. It actually sounds pretty actually clear. You know what I mean? Because you can even go back to some of the videos, and it sounded all crackling, like. It's I, yeah, young blood. Something I don't, something was going on. Something. Yes, it sounds good. And that's another thing that I wanted to do the live tonight too. Because man, I'm tired. You know what I mean? But I figured, let me test it out. I said if the audio sounds good, then damn, there really was an issue. And sure enough, man, the audio sounds perfect to me. Before I could hear it crackling and staticking and so it's crazy, man. It's crazy what people can do, man, with technology nowadays. That I didn't when I would hear people say man, my account got hacked, I'm like, man, how? How? Because somehow what they did was some type of hack, spam. They did something. What's going on, RG6? I mean, because the audio sounds good. It's just too much of a coincidence for not to be something going on. The audio sounds good. Mark came out the woodwork. I'm gonna have nightmares. You know what I mean? I shouldn't have called him out. What's you can't say Candyman, Candyman, Candyman. I mean, I don't know what the 3 words we can't say for Mark. He came Did it like what a child would do, right? Instead of coming to address his allegations, uh, you want to come in and insult and talk about me, but my name's being cleared. Like you can have your opinion on whatever, call me, but at the end of the day, it's in black and white on my end, right? So I feel good. Um, so I like how Jonathan Schwartz says, I have empathy and sympathy for Mark, right, for what he's going through. But at the same time, he ain't making it any better by dodging the smoke, answering the questions that matter. Hey, why did you continue doing that if the first time you did it you felt bad? You know, why? Why did you continue? Was it because you needed money, or was it for the lust? What were the reasons that you did it for? What's going on, Texas? You know, what were your reasons that you did these things for? You know, what goes through your mind of a man defecating on himself and then you coming for seconds? I don't. I would assume if this dude defecated, man, there had to be some kind of residual, some kind of residue. So and also what goes through his mind of being aroused with another man gunning. The gunning, it's sexual deviancy, but it's even worse when you got a partner doing it with you next to you, like right next to you. You got another guy doing the same thing you're doing. Who's to say that y'all are not looking at each other's piece while y'all going to town? I mean, it's just I don't what goes through his mind to do that and to actually sit there and talk about it proudly, like, yeah, me and I was cool with the I don't know if it was a crip. Oh yeah, me and the crip used to go mission, and asking these type of things, like, man, like, why? You know what I mean? Like the unedited version, it hits different, man, because it's actually, to me, I look at it as uh, a confession tape, right? If I was Mark and they said, "Hey, man, we're gonna show this to the prosecutor," I'd be like, "Man, what did I just do? I just basically spilled the beans." I don't get it. I don't. I'm kind of confused there. That if you have something that happens like this, why not bring it to the proper authorities and be like, "Say, look, man, I interviewed these people and these guys said that this happened to him." Uh, it's like the same thing with that movie with Nicolas Cage. That movie, uh, 8 millimeter or 10 millimeter, where the widow finds a VH tape in the husband's late husband's safe, and she hires Nicolas Cage to find out if what the outcome of that movie that she seen was really true. Right? She wanted to know, hey, was my husband involved in this type of stuff? Like before he comes on, says his little insults, and I'm like, man, look, I've been cleared, man. I mean, you can say whatever you want, but you haven't. You should have just left it alone. And I don't I'm not too tech savvy with software to be like, hey, this software can do this for you, that software can do that for you. I'm not I'm not too invested like that. I'm not too invested, to go out of my way to go research, learn something to be deceitful. I can't go out of my way just to be deceitful and lying or manipulate it. I won't do that. I mean, what they're doing, whatever tactics they're doing, they've done them all. And I don't know what else they're gonna continue doing. I guess I'll learn as I go. Now all I know is okay, I can't have a good time anymore by letting people on, right? This can't be a normal podcast where you can interact with people because now it seems like everybody has a bad intention on my channel, and all I'm trying to do is just bring the truth. It's like me going and exposing the truth on Mark has opened so many battlefields up for me that people that want to defend him and say other about his character, oh, he wasn't doing that. Oh, he's not that person that he used to be. It's like karma's done came 180 for that guy, right? He was used to being the dominant. Now he's the submissive one. He used to be the one in control. Now it's out of his control. Because now he's there, just like his boys used to listen to what him and JG used to tell him to do. There he is, sitting at his cash register, waiting for Dante to tell him what to do next. Karma's a bitch. That's what I don't understand. Uh, why people like to, spew hate and negativity. I don't get that, man. If you know it's gonna come back to you, or maybe these people that do it haven't really done enough dirt that karma hasn't really came and got them. Eventually, it's gonna come. Eventually, it comes one way or another. So I don't get it. You got people changing their lifestyle completely. You know, it's hard being a family man, right? Being a family man, taking care of your wife, acknowledging your wife, acknowledging your kids. If I have one 7-year old that I have to acknowledge. You know what I mean? Dad, 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 dad. Dad, come over here, dad. Dad this, dad this, dad, dad, dad. So I can just imagine. Well, I did have two at a time at one point, right? So I can just imagine having multiple kids hearing dad, 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 dad. It's hard enough for me to, please one son. Dad, come play PlayStation. Dad, come watch this with me. Dad, look what I'm doing. So when you have a handful of kids, that itself, man, it's a handful. That's a big responsibility. Okay, then you want to be a content creator. Okay, then you got to put you put your videos, your thumbnails, whatever you're going to produce to the masses. And then your other part is out here trying to destroy a channel for telling the truth. So your priorities are wrong because one of those priorities is going to suffer. If you're too busy attacking me, then you're not too busy spending time with your family. So somewhere it's being unbalanced, right? So that's why you have all this hate and animosity in your heart. your failures in life, you want to reflect it upon others. But I'm happy in life, I'm happy. I'm like, even through you sense the hate, you figure out the hate. For some reason, God has always given me the, hey, take these blinders off and look. He's always been able to guide me and giving me the knowledge to get me out of jams. And it seems every time when I'm about to get defeated, he steps in. Every time in my life. It's been every time I've almost lost my life to people. It's been numerous times. I could have lost my life numerous times at the hands of people. I've been shot at numerous times at close range. I've been robbed with pistols to my chest. I've 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 had all these things happen to me, right? I've been trying to people my ex-baby, my first baby mama tried to stab me. She didn't get me, but she got the chick that I with in the back and in the face. I got her out of that jam, or else she would have probably been doing, man, uh, attempted, aggravated. So it's not like, you know, he's always got me, man. So I'm happy. What I do here is because I have the time to do it, right? I have the time. But by me doing this, nowhere am I slacking anywhere else, right? This is not my job. This doesn't come priority to me. This doesn't come priority. This is not at the top of my list to do every day. This is just time that I have. And apparently I have too much time. This is not like, oh man, this is a business. Oh, this today I didn't make, I'm in the red. I'm in the red. I'm in the red. I'm in the red. We've heard it. I think the stress is causing the man to go bald. That's sad, man. And that's that's sad, man. That's you. That's you overthinking, man. And you're overthinking for the negativity to harm another fellow man. That God is going to be like, man, look at this. Look, keep on thinking. You ain't gonna be no chia pet no more. But God humbles us. I lost my hair when I went to prison, right? At 19, 20, the back of my hair started receding, right? Started receding, and basically like the LeBron James. I started out with the LeBron James, and eventually it just started. I started looking like a Maine dog, patch here, patch there. Eventually, hey, it had to go, and that's because of stress, right? I remember I went to prison. I was getting ball fades, and during the time, it's just like, and got to the point where, hey, just shave it off. You just don't look right, and that's in my early 20s. So I can see I see this character, and I see the stress baldness going through him because you stressing and you worrying about the wrong thing. You worrying about trying to silence me to try to put a coin in your pocket. it's difficult, man. It's difficult to keep a wife and a and one child happy, right? The responsibilities, provider, do this, do that, uh, and just a kid, man, in general. You know what I mean? Especially a boy, because if you don't keep an eye on too much, man, they're out there breaking shit. So I can just imagine a handful of boys. It's like Bebe's kids. You know what I mean? Where's the father? The father's over there running software and trying to shut down the channels of other people. He said it himself. I help build uh and create channels. You talk bad about me, you ain't gonna grow. Everybody pays me 10%. Every so when he made those remarks and statements, I'm like, man, you know, well, yeah, he's figured out he's invested in this. When somebody's invested in something, you're gonna try to find out the loopholes, things that you're gonna be able to use to your advantage, right? Because you're so invested, man. You're invested. You're like, fuck, I want to be the top of this. So it's no longer I'm gonna work hard at it. It's more of I can find a cheat code and try to maneuver it and hopefully I can succeed. Instead of just working hard for it, man, and being authentic, right? That's why people would ask me, how come you don't tell no prison stories? Well, man, fuck, I've only been in prison 2 years. How many prison stories can I tell you in 2 years? I mean, not too many, right? I can't I can't I can't tell you something that I don't know. And I'm not the type of guy that's gonna go make up stories. Uh I might go research some stories and present it to y'all and read it from there. But as far as making up stories, like that's not me. I can't do it. I'm not I'm not a lie. That to me is liar. You know what I mean? Like I don't know. I just can't do it like that. See, like that house, he's been to prison 6 times. And he was there in the hard times, when the families were running something, when it was, structured. Like I said, I went to prison in 2000 and it was a free enterprise. I seen everybody make money. Everybody was, and then nobody was charging anybody unless you use the logistics. You use the line. If you didn't use the line that was already set up, then you didn't have to worry about it. If you set up your own line, then hey, that was you. You're responsible for it, right? It gets caught, hey, you lose whatever it was. Instead of paying a little bit and you already know that it's gonna come through. But some people don't. They're like, oh no, I'm gonna take the chance, man. I think I got something set up. So it's a free enterprise, no when I was there. But in the 80s, 70s, and the early 90s, people were paying taxes to people, and people were saying we're not paying no more. It's very those years are very, man, very interesting, especially for the people that were there and that can explain it. And I'm not a I'm not very good with my words, right? I mean, I can go probably sit there and probably get an Expedia or dictionary and educate myself on it, right? But then it wouldn't be me, you know what I mean? I would just do that just to please people, just for they want to think of me in a certain way. I'm like, "Well, I'm not gonna change your mind. You already thought about me one way, so why would I go change my way just to please you? So it is what it is. I know my faults, and see, like I say, it's being clean. That's good. That's good, bro. It takes a lot of courage. You know what I mean to do that. to stay free and clean. It's hard, man. Because I got a lot of friends that uh will go in and out, right? In and out, in and out, in and out. And the majority of the problem was that tar. And I don't know how it is now, but in back then it was black tar, and that was really getting people hooked. And it's wild, man. I seen but it's not. I don't know. I don't. I guess because I really haven't been around people too much like that to see like the destruction. I've just seen more of the guy, uh, my age, and he had already been like doing heavy drugs from a young age, so it was more of it was expected from him, not expected, but you kind of knew that when he was hooked on it, that hey, he started young. While we were smoking, he was already snorting, so he was ahead of his time. Yeah, and even then, man, even then, RGS, you don't even know what they're spraying on it nowadays. I just seen a video on YouTube where they what's going on, Jay Chambers, where they said salmonella, parasites, insects was being sold to the masses, and this is at the dispensaries, right? This is at the dispensaries. So the dispensaries ain't go, they test some of it, but all that salmonella, that's what hits the black markets, right? That's the stuff that hits the states that ain't legalized yet. So all the bad from California, Oklahoma, all these other places that are legal, they send all the trash to us, to all the states that ain't legal, right? They're like, hey, these guys are going to consume it anyways, right? Where else are they going to go? Nobody wants the Mexican wheat. Nobody wants that anymore, right? Everybody wants Cali, Oklahoma, New Mexico. Everybody wants name brand cookies and stuff like that. But that's all good for the states that it's legal. But for the states it's not, you're consuming, the garbage from those states. And and that's just the reality of it, man. It's not like before, at least when it was coming from Mexico, you knew what it was. You knew that that's what it was. You know what I mean? The only thing that you knew is like, hey, sometimes during the transportation, it would get oil or gas, right? But that was just very few in between, and that was just one or two, three bricks that sometimes would the package wouldn't hold, and the oil and the gas would seep through. But not every package was like that, right? So you knew what you were getting. Not like nowadays. Nowadays, you don't even know. Young Blood said Alabama must be number one because it's bad people thinking they're birds, alligators. Yeah, it's bad, man. I think in Texas it's not that bad, man. I'm maybe it's not even on my side of town. Not even on my side of town. It's I mean, you see them, but it's not like other places where you see them like Kensington and Open Market. Yeah, I think that's what it is, young blood. I think that's what it is. I think that's what it is. Because I think like in places like in Arizona and New Mexico, man, they sell them for $1 a pill. They sell them for $1, and I even heard some people say, "Hey, you can get it for 75 cents, 50 cents." So them little things, man, they're I guess cheap to make, and I don't know, man. I'm glad that I'm not in that lifestyle anymore, man. Because it's I don't know, man. When you overdose, it just sucks, man. It's just like a sorry feeling, man. And I don't understand the people. I've seen documentaries where some people have overdosed 2 to 3 times, and I ask myself, I'm like, man, why don't them people just give it up, man? Just chill. That's 3 times you play with your life like that. Like, why would you do that? That's like, man. Once that, I said never again, man. I said never. Nothing. That never again. Cause I had the same thing happen to my best friend, man. The same thing happened to my best friend, right? We were at a trap house. It was my brother's trap house, and my brother had some people from Abilene, from West Texas, coming through, uh, which was his brother-in-law at the time, and they were gonna get a quarter of a brick of white. So my brother didn't stay at the trap house. It was just the trap house, right? He lived somewhere else. So my brother's like, "Hey, I'm gonna leave that up there. Don't touch it. I'm gonna leave y'all some right there, to get y'all through the night." So he left. I can't remember. He left a couple of G's, right? A couple of grams there for us, because there was a couple of us. So somehow we managed to go through that, right? And it's 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. I knew where the stash was at, so I go over there and I pinch the stash, right? And I get us some more. So during this time, my homeboy that passed away, uh, he hears something. He goes, "Hey, I hear something." So he goes to the blind and starts tweaking, right? So I go over there and I'm like, "Well, what are you looking at?" And he's like, "You hear that?" I'm like, "I don't hear nothing." And next thing, he just collapses and his fucking, he's choking on his tongue, right? Like, I can see he's fucking literally choking on his tongue, like he's moving and having like a seizure. And I'm like, "Fuck, I don't know what to do." So luckily there was an older friend of my brother's there. I woke him up. I'm like, "Say, bro, this guy." So he really went. He went to the kitchen, got a spoon, and put us and grabbed his tongue out with the spoon, right? He knew what. I guess he already knew what it was. He's like, pick him up," and he he OD'd, man. But I guess the ODs from an upper and a downer are totally different. I guess if you can drop the heart back down from beating so much, uh, and it's the same thing, right? Because with the downers, they got to give you adrenaline to pick you back up, to boost you back up, to bring you back up. I would assume because that's what they did to me. I still got the scar on my arm with the gauge. It's like a big old needle gauge. They just jammed it in there and it just poof. It's crazy, man. It's like waking up from a portal. You're like poof. You just wake up and you're like, it's crazy, man. If you haven't experienced it, a near death or out of body experience, it's crazy. It's a crazy feeling, man. It's wild. I guess I guess it would be the feeling of how people when they do shrooms or some type of feeling that gets you into a different portal in the dimension and you enlighten yourself, right? I mean, you see things and you hear things that okay, well, fuck it, something does exist. So I don't know, man. I don't know if there's ways like how these people do black magic. I don't know if there's a way to bring them from different portals. And I don't know, you know what I mean? It seems like my soul was going to be a wandering soul. So I ask myself, all these people that actually do talk to these spirits, are these really, souls that really got left here? And but it's wild. You start when you have an out of body and near death experience, you question yourself. You're like, man, it's just all this stuff. You're like, man, so if you didn't believe in black magic before, you kind of be like, man, it's possible, man, because where was my soul going? Was I gonna be a soul wandering, just walking around, just seeing stuff and not being able to touch, or I can listen and watch, but not having impact on what's going on unless I get, I don't know. I mean, that's why I ask myself about them witchcrafts. It's like I believe it too. I believe in the witchcraft, man. I've been I can say I've been hexed by a Peruvian witch, and it took a while. It took a while to get away from because you kind of know, man. You just have a lot of times the nightmares. You know what I mean? A lot of times it's like if people are wishing bad upon you, that you start having nightmares. But it's there's real people that know how to do it, man. There's people that know how to do it. Cause this lady, this Peruvian lady, she was a witch, right? She was like a plug in my neighborhood, right? But she didn't have she had a lot of older junkie males looking out for her, right? Cause she didn't speak that much English. So she had a lot of these older doping gentlemen around her, right? That would look out for her and she would tell them what to do and whatnot. So she really didn't have per se muscle, right? She had the connection, she had logistics, she had apartments, she had everything, but she was vulnerable for people to take stuff from her, right? She didn't have a team per se to be like, hey, let's strap up and let's ride. She didn't have anybody like that. But I grew up in a neighborhood, right? That yeah, I belong just like everybody else belong to a neighborhood gang, right? But as you get older, everybody in that neighborhood gang, either they go to work or they start doing their own thing. You start doing your own thing, but you kind of coexist because you're from the neighborhood. You see each other at the gas stations. What's up? And your homies from the neighborhood. So we all had like we. It was one big clique, but it eventually spit it off to little individual cliques, right? So it was maybe a group of 30 of us that we all splintered off into like a group of three, four here, five here. 6 here. But we were all cool with each other because we grew up with each other. We knew each other. Uh, we jumped each other into the neighborhood gang. Uh, so we would know each other, right? But we ran in different circles. Same circle, same neighborhood, but we were doing. So I was more of the hustling side, right? A lot of my friends that were from the neighborhood were. It's sad to say they got hooked on that ice. So their agenda was, flipping to keep high. If not, they were jacking, to try to get back up on their feet with that ice. It was always so uh I kind of had to, always keep my friends that I grew up with that, like almost pacify them, right? They'd come up with me, hey, can I get a sack? They'd be short. Yeah, here you go. Don't make too big of a deal because I knew they were always going to try to be looking for an opportunity, right? The animosity. Even through they were my homeboys growing up, claimed the same neighborhood, they were always going to look for that opportunity to call me a bitch asshole or let's go get them. It's everywhere, same mentality, right? So you gotta kind of pacify them. They come up short, here you go, give it to them anyways, right? Because you can always use them down the road, right? Something pops up, you can always use them. So it's always kind of good to keep them on good terms. So this lady didn't have anybody that would look out for her. So my homeboys from my neighborhood decided to hit her up. They went in there, tied them up, do what they do. I knew, right? I knew who had did it because they told me after they got whatever they got from her, they were came and offered me to me at a discounted price, right? Because she didn't sell what they did. Her thing was hard and white. Theirs was ice. So what they took, they really didn't have no use for it. It wasn't their cup of tea, as you would say. So I knew about it because they came to me saying, "Hey, look, this is what we got." Woo, 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 woo. And since they're from my neighborhood, we're homeboys. They tell me, "Hey, yeah, we got it from the Peruana." So she calls me up, right? She's like, "Come over," right? Because I used to get work from her too. She's like, "Come over." I used to get soft from her, man. She had the best soft that when I would cook it, it would come right back. At the most, I would lose out of 28 grams that I would cook up, I would lose maybe 1 gram. I wouldn't lose too much. I wouldn't put nothing in but baking soda. For every 28 grams, I'll put 14 grams of baking soda. And I bake me a cookie. So she had good quality at the time. Uh, so she called me up and she was mad, right? I could hear it in her voice and I already knew what time it was. And she like, oh man, I've been good to you. Why would you do? I'm like, why would I do what? She goes, why didn't you tell me that they were gonna come and do that and woo 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 woo. She goes, I know they're your friends. I know you know them. You don't hang out with them, but I know you know them. Woo 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 woo. Right? Because we would all hang out at this car wash. Right? There's a car wash in our neighborhood that majority of us would hang out at. Right? We would go to that car wash to fight or whatnot. Right? That car wash was known to us. I showed it to y'all in a couple of music videos. That car wash was that's where we would kick it at, right? So she would see us, and other people would tell her, yeah, it was probably him, it was probably not. And The reason when I knew that she was a witch, because one of them dudes left a shirt behind. They left a white tee behind. So she said from that white tee, she was able to get a picture. I don't know how she got a picture, but she started naming the people that did it. Right? I don't know if somebody else had told her, but from what I know, I was the only one other than the people that knew, right? So I don't think the guys that actually did it actually came back and told her. So I believe in that. And then she told me that same day, she goes, everybody that had anything to do with it involved, one way or another, is going down. And sure enough, man, sure enough, that's when I start getting shot at. Um, all my houses start getting raided. All my apartments start getting raided by the cops. Just in a matter of seconds, man. In a matter of seconds, uh, I got away with getting raided, right? I got raided, but just seconds got me away. I sent the dolphin off with the packages and the dog. I was about to get raided. And I pull up into the apartments and I see cops everywhere, and I'm like, they're gonna hit our apartment. It has to be us. So I get out the car. I holler us up the stairs. I'm banging on the fucking door. These idiots don't want to open the door. I'm kicking on. I'm like, open the fucking door. Open the door. Open the door. They're about to come up this way. So I happen to get everything, all the guns, everything, and I put them in a duffel bag. And I tell the dolphin that was in there, here, go across the street. Just take off. Just take off. Take off with you and the dog walking. Just get out of here. And sure enough, 2 minutes later, as I send him out the door, I'm like, let's go in the car and let's go look for him. So as I'm going down the stairs, they're coming up. The Dallas SWAT, right? They're coming up the stairs. So they tell us, get back in, get back in, get back in. So just minutes, man. Because what we had in there, man, and at that time, I was the only basically one. So I was going to basically, they already had me. I seen that same week at my other spot across the street, I served the dude a $50 piece, right? He was on his bike. And I looked out the window, and as soon as he gets on his bike, he gets tackled. Right? I'm like, who the fuck is just tackling that guy? And I'm looking closer, and it's a fucking cop, right? He's tackling the dude that just came out of my house with the 50 piece. So I'm like, fuck, they're coming. They're coming. They just seen this dude. They just fucking jammed this dude up. He got a big old piece in his mouth, and they just see that he just came out of my apartment. This is all in the same week, man. So all my houses, my apartments, they were my apartments. They all got shut down in a matter of time, man. So my income, you know, from being comfortable, from trapping it out, I had to go back to the fucking corner, right? Because now the apartments are burnt up and they don't want to rent out to nobody, right? Because they see me now. They see me. I'm burnt on the apartments, right? They've all my apartments I burnt. I burnt them all. I burnt them all. All the apartments in my little vicinity, I've had a trap or another, and they get burnt. So now I'm trapping out the store, and that don't last too long, man. You're an open target. You're an open target, right? So for safety reasons, you're like, man, fuck it, I'm gonna stay in the car. You want to leave, so you go to the comfort of the hotel, but the hotel's too far away from the spot that nobody wants to come to your hotel. So now you're losing money. Now you're paying daily on this room and having to go back and forth because nobody's coming all the way over here. Nobody's traveling. It's just crazy, man. So I believe in that witchcraft, man. Because when she told me my little, I guess, empire or whatever I had going on was going to go to the shits, it did. And it lasted a while, man. Once I started seeing everything going to the shits, all my friends going to prison, uh, that was it, man. I sold my last rock, uh, and I went to go to my mom's house. And ever since then, I never went back, man. But see, I left my mom's house at a young age, man. I left my mom's house like at 13, 14, and I didn't go back until like, you know, 24, 26. So it kind of sucks, that's why I'm like a late bloomer, man. I didn't get a good work steady job until like I was 30, you know, stayed at these jobs for numerous years. I didn't get right till like I was, in my late 30s. It's sad to say, be stable and, have a full-time job. Not like being 17, 18, working at a fast food somewhere, starting early. See, so man, that's why, like, I can tell you stories, man, of streets and violence and, I can show you the negativity, man, but that's not me no more, man. You know, I'd rather show you the positivity of what you can do and where you can come from, man, and, try a little bit hard and don't complain. You can get somewhere in life. It just all depends on you, man. That's why, I'm not a hateful person because I've done a lot of hate, a lot of hateful things as well that, I'm not proud of. I'm not, it doesn't make me a bigger man or than the next man, right? But I can say, hey, what I was doing wasn't right. So that's why these guys that are so hateful for such little things, and they've never really done nothing. They don't really know what the meaning of hate is. You know what I mean? They just feeling some type of ways that they can't control the narrative. And that's I don't understand, man. Why would you change your lifestyle and go out of your way to defend a deviant? And we're not Mark Moore ain't no saint. He ain't your law abiding citizen. He is what he is, a monster, Candyman, boogeyman. Now, see, that's the thing. Infamous. There's a lot of people, man. There's a lot of people. There's a lot of people that done a lot more time, man. That you know that have a lot of great success story. Young blood. Texas, my friend Bobby. All these guys are great success stories, man, and they did a lot of had more time and witnessed a lot of more gruesome stuff than I did, and they become law-abiding citizens, contributing members of their society. Mark, on the other hand, is still in denial. He's still in denial from his actions, right? Like, oh, no, I didn't do it. It's like a little kid, right? You know the little kid did it, and he continues to lie to you. He continues to lie to you instead of saying, "You know what? Yeah, I did do it, man. Get over it." But when you continue to hide and run, and what are you hiding? Why do you run and hide behind the cover of other men to defend your battle? That's why I tell you, karma's a bitch. There was boys that used to run to you for you to protect them, right? Now you're running to other men to protect you. That sucks, man. Life's a bitch. Now boys used to come for you for guidance. Now you going to other men for guidance. You used to tell boys what to do. Now you got other men telling you what to do, who to talk to, when to talk to. Hey, go join his live. Go join his live, Mark. And there you go, like a little old puppy. Come and throw rocks and then take off. Cowardly. Well, what do you expect from a coward like that? What can you expect? It's like it comes to a time, man, where the the victimizer's the victim. It sucks, man, that you can say Mark's a victim now, man. Any dude with two arms is fucking him up. Any person has the upper hand, has the advantage. He's the victim. He's a victim now, right? To anybody. And that's sad. Karma collects, man. I used to poison the neighborhood, and now I'm getting poison in me. It collects, man. When you accept it, you can understand why you're going through it. You can accept it, right? You be like, "Fuck, man, hey, that's just karma getting its get back." That sucks, man. But you chose that. You chose this road. You and your promoter going bald. It's not the what's that the Will Smith's wife, Jada Pinkett, Alpina or whatever it's called. Is that what he's going through? Y'all have a good one, man. It's getting late, and man, like I told y'all earlier, man, I need to get some rest because I'm gonna get my medication. Yeah, yeah, that one, bro. I'm gonna get my medication in a couple of days, and I'm gonna be out of it, man. Y'all have a good night, man. You have a good night, young blood and infamous and everybody, man.